Not all the songs, like, me and Tyler are both the songwriters of the band, so there's songs of his that obviously have nothing to do with my ex. But, well, that, yeah. Not that I know of.
Let's talk about that later.
Now.
This could get awkward. Hello, you're watching NME. I'm Jordan Bassett. We're here with Mini Mansions.
Thanks for having us.
Hey, it's a pleasure. Guy Walks Into a Bar is the name of your new album. What can you tell us about this album? How does it differ from previous efforts?
I guess "Guy Walks Into a Bar" could be the first lyric of the record, although it's not, and so it kind of leads the way for the rest of the record and how it plays out. And it's a record that we wrote and recorded in real time, so that's something we've never done before. I never even thought to do it.
What do you mean? What do you mean? It's like an episode of 24.
Yeah.
Kiefer came by. He did a guest vocal.
He's a pretty good musician, actually.
He is. He actually owns a record label. Our friend's
yeah.
band was on his record label.
Okay.
So yeah.
Go on.
It kind of it shows the unraveling of a relationship from beginning to end, but was written during the course of that relationship.
It was happening. Wow.
Yeah, as it was happening.
That's intense.
And the play on, Guy Walks Into a Bar is really, that's the point of, that's like the starting point.
Right, okay.
For a joke, but also, the joke that we call love.
Whose relationship?
I mean, it was mine,
Right, okay.
but not all the songs, like, me and Tyler are both the songwriters of the band, so there's songs of his that obviously have nothing to do with my ex. But well, that, yeah. Not that I know of.
Let's talk about that later.
This could get awkward.
But so we chose songs of his that kind of fit the narrative.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Of that.
The received wisdom of the last EP was that was a little bit more direct, and that with the previous things you've been a little bit more like playing with characters and stories, and that was a bit more sort of open and direct. Does that sort of hold true to you?
I think we've diluted certain things in this. I think this is just a little bit more straightforward and emotionally. We've always been kind of like working with like pieces that don't exist in life, but this is a lot more. There's like a human quality to it that I think we've always in the past deviated away from.
Yeah.
But in this case, we fully embraced.
And did that start with the last EP as well? Was that kind of like the starting point for this change?
Well, the EP was actually recorded after.
Oh, really?
The record. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So this was the other way around, actually.
Totally. So that kind of like that's why the EP is like that, because we were already like in that zone, in that headspace.
Is it more difficult to write like that? Honesty rather than
Sometimes it's
sort of
easier.
playing around.
I think this was. I mean, for me personally, this was the easiest writing I'd ever done, because being in this relationship and everything was just kind of flowing out of me. Like there was no filter.
Yeah.
Which made it so easy, because you literally what was going inside my brain and body was just I could put it on paper and then onto a record. So I always want to write like that if I can.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
If I can.
Is it not a little bit more exhausting doing that though, because you're more exposed?
Yeah, it killed me.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
But I think it made for a great record.
So you've been touring with Sparks, which I felt like the track "Forget Your Name." I wondered if their influence had
That's good. Oh, I never thought of that. Yeah.
influenced that track.
I
a
guess
little
so.
bit.
Yeah, we've always been fans of that band, and that kind of like super weirdo quirkiness to what they do. But yeah, it's definitely a big influence. But I just never thought of that. Yeah, that's great. Thanks. Wow. You're thinking, yeah. Well done. Well played.
Yeah.
So how was that touring with Sparks?
I only got to do one show.
Oh, really?
Okay. We did a cover of their song Sherlock Holmes on our last record as a B-side, and our friend John Congleton was doing the FFS record and played it for him, and they loved it, and so then they came and did a show with us in LA, and then we got a call one day and they said, we want Mini Mansions to be our band, our touring band, which was
and we were like,
flattering.
What?
Yeah, I mean it's pretty insane. It was an honor, but I only got to do one show. But Zach and Tyler did a couple tours.
It's fun. They're brilliant people.
Do you ever get any kind of like, I should call it like vertigo when stuff like that happens? It's like someone that you've been a fan of for a long time, and then they reach out to you.
Yeah, well, it's just strange that it just goes to show you that if you cover a song, you might be in the band.
You're going to cover next.
We should just only do covers.
In fact, you've got a lot of extracurricular activities. Could you tell us about the other bands that you're in for people that might not be aware?
Tyler plays in...
Do we have to address this camera or that one? That one?
This is the camera you're talking to.
Oh, yeah. What's up, camera?
Just like slightly off. Tyler plays in Arctic Monkeys. I play in Queens of the Stone Age. Yeah, those are...
All right, you've got to each give us a tidbit about each of those bands. Have you been working on anything with Arctic Monkeys?
Arctic Monkeys is an English band.
You might have heard of them. But have you been working with them recently? Is there anything going on
Their
there?
Wikipedia is pretty thoroughly written. No, well, the tour ended, what was it, a little over a month ago.
And when it ended, was it quite sort of exhausting? Because that's a long...
It was a perfect amount of time.
And are you going to work with them in the future?
I'd love to.
Okay, but there's nothing set in stone.
No tidbits. No,
Yeah, no
what do you call
tidbits.
it?
Okay, well, I gotta try.
That's a Canadian thing. Tidbits. Jimmy Hortons. Tidbits.
I don't know what's going on.
You want a little gold nugget?
I want a little nugget. Come on, give me a nugget about Queens of the Stone Age. Give me a nugget.
A nugget?
Help me out.
You talking
Man,
about
I
weed
got
right
so
now?
many nuggets for you, dude. I don't even know where to start. I've been in that band since I was 21 years old, so it's been 13 years of my life. So I have too many stories that shouldn't be told for you.
What about the future of that band? Is there anything?
He has a giant tattoo.
The future is bright.
The future's bright.
Yeah.
The future's so bright you gotta wear shades.
Obviously. Yeah, we'll make another record. But right now, Mini Mansions is our
The main
focus.
thing. Yeah, sure. Okay, well, speaking of collaborators, Alex Turner, of course, was on Vertigo. I mentioned Vertigo earlier. It must have been in my brain.
I thought you were being clever.
Which is a very sort of tranquility bass type song on what I think is quite a tranquility bass type album. But of course, precedes tranquility bass, Hotel and Casino. So my question is, do you take credit for that record?
No.
I think maybe you.
I think maybe you want me to take credit.
I don't know, maybe you sowed a little seed there.
I don't take credit for anything anymore, man.
You see where I'm coming from with that though? Like there's that sort of like spacey aesthetic, that kind of loungy sound.
I think that we're all friends and we're all kind of part of the same musical community. So I think that we hopefully like rub off on each other. I mean, all of us. So I'm not. I mean, I get what you're saying, but I don't think that like. Yeah, I don't think it had anything to do with how Alex wrote that record.
Okay, all right.
You could ask him. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'll get back to you. Well, speaking of the musical community, like obviously, what you do is very collaborative, and you have all your different sort of projects going on. What is the benefit of working in that way, as opposed to being like a really self-contained unit?
Oh, well, we are very self-contained, but we do bring other sailors on board the ship sometimes. Is that what you're saying? Because we have like features?
Yeah, and you have loads of different projects,
Yeah, no,
you have
like,
loads of
but-
people coming into your band, you go on to other people's groups,
Oh, I see. Well, we're pretty insular as a band.
As Mini Mansions,
yeah. And when we certain songs, on this record too, Hey Lover, like, that was designed to be from first and foremost a duet, but it was never. Once we're ready once the song feels it's at a good point, only then do we think about putting in other characters into the Shakespeare play, or whatever.
Yeah, we don't do a lot of like co-writing and all that stuff. It's just it has to come from us.
Well, when you're working in that sort of self-contained like sort of group, just the three of you, are you quite protective of the material before it then goes out to be heard by a producer or by a collaborator?
Oh, I mean,
Now less, I think.
what?
There you go. Whatever.
No, I mean, well, for me, I don't know. I'm just, I mean, you know, I'm so OCD about like every little thing that we do.
Every little thing
on the record, like every sound, I mean, yeah, I got problems.
I read that you nearly split up
We did, yeah.
before you made this record. What's the story?
I mean, that's it.
What?
we were just like.
I think there's more to it than that.
Well, I mean, it's really a product of like we're, you know, making this record was like different because we were always gone, and so when we finished the record, we had like, you know, there was a point where we were like, should we release this and go our separate ways, or should we, you know, and in a lot of ways, once we did the EP, which was after the record, that kind of like got us back into the, because you can get in your head, and if you don't see, you know, your brothers for a long time, you start just developing this other, what do you call it, story around like what needs to happen. But what's funny is if you just jump in the pool, you know, then you realize that, oh yeah, that's right, we like to be in the pool. I was in the pool.
Yeah, it's like sometimes like, you know, like texts get lost, you know, things get lost in translation through text. Sometimes you just need to get face to face with someone and talk it out. I think that was like kind of part of the problem, like all of us being on tour in different parts of the world and just not like like connecting like in person was an issue. And so yeah, doing the EP, like you said, brought it all back home.
Brought it all back home.
I remember it was Sparks, because we were all touring separately, and the Sparks gig that we did in Glasgow was kind of where it all went down.
In that lobby.
Yeah, in that lobby. Yeah, lobby call.
Yeah, lobby. Yeah.
So we kind of talked it out, and finally we're like together and like actually playing in someone else's band together, but like, and we were like, okay, let's go record these songs.
Yeah.
So we have Sparks to thank.
I think Sparks for a lot of things.
Thanks, Ron Russell.
Kimonos.
Appreciate it.
We talked about you being collaborating with people. Dream collaborations. Who would you want to work with? In fact, living or dead.
I'd like Elliott Smith. I'd like to work with Elliott Smith.
I can see that. All right. Well, I threatened at the start of this that I was going to ask you for your best guy walks into a bar joke to finish. What have you got?
You got one? You got one.
I'm bad at that too. You know, it's funny. I love jokes, but I can't remember any jokes.
I know.
Is that weird?
Joke to wait, but you have that one.
It's pretty PG for you kids. But,
That's all right. That's good. That means
guy
everyone
walks
can enjoy
into
it.
a bar so hard that he just like got knocked out.
But it needs a little work, but
I know, my
they'll
delivery.
figure it out.
I never deliver.
Well, on that note,
I was a pizza boy though.
that's your lot. That's all, folks. You've been watching Enemy. Living in Many Mansions. Thanks for joining us.